Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network here for a little flatline racing bodies. Monday Night Madness, your first race of the evening here. Of course, the Full Throttle Motorsports 358 Modifieds, and going to run these open setups, so, you know, you can, it's a run what you brung, man, whatever you want to bring. That's the thing here this evening. Monday nights is our only open setup nights here in the Coast to Coast Racing League. So if you're out there, you know, open setups aren't your thing. You always have the rest of the week, you know, and then you get to play around with the open setups here. Experiment, make some new friends, and try to beat Full Throttle Motorsports here at their 358 modified game. And right now the 390 of Mike Brewery's quickest on the time charts. Now that's good and all, doesn't mean too much, you know. The track's gonna change. Let's see these last time buys, what guys are running. The 2105 we see, is that the Ant-Man right behind him? I do believe it is Anthony Morano, 2142. So it may mean a little something there for the 390 of Mike Brewer. He's got some speed on him right now, and we'll have to see if it carries over here throughout the night. 20 guys so far in the session. 19 have put in a lap time. We'll go see what's going on in that other room here. Let's see who's out on the racetrack over there. So Bob the Good not out there because that's who I clicked on. Sam Bachman is, though. 007 here. Sam Bachman rolling around in the basement through 1 and 2. That's where he's comfortable. That's where he always goes. Nobody should be surprised to see that 007 work in the bottom. See, he's not even using that left front tire, completely lifted off the ground. And you can just, let's see here. Can I get up there? We're not really going to get to see it, I wouldn't think, lift too much here. You can see the shot, or the shock kind of flex there, extend and compress. Lots of bouncing on corner entry. I mean, wouldn't that be neat if coming off the corner you saw it just stop rolling from no contact there with the racetrack. Now the right front, exact opposite. He's doing some work here with the right front, so he's got to pull off. He doesn't want me to prove a point. But you'll see this one. I mean, it's really bouncing up and down. You don't want to get in the wall with your right front here tonight. You can take a couple shots in the rear here at Williams Grove, but man, you do not want to damage that right front steering tires. No way you're gonna work your way up to the front with an unhealthy race car. As you see Mike Weeda out here in the 66, he taps that backstretch wall and might be pulling it in here. Ooh, stuck on the tire. Sorry, Mike. It's terrible timing, and we get to catch the man at his lowest. I see Trevor out there. We got Chad. What's going on, fellas? Told Anthony to give him $5 if he wins. Well, you know as well as I do. There's a pretty good chance you're going to be missing $5 at the end of this thing. Anthony Morano, one of those guys, always on the watch list here at Williams Grove, man. He likes to run the bottom, and we'll probably see that bottom come in later. Clay Christopherson, another guy here, this 51, who, I mean, he's going to be just fine if he wants to be. I mean, he may come out, absolutely tear the place down, go out here, run about 32 seconds in qualifying. Or he might decide, going to actually do it and go out here and get the pole. But it really all depends what his mindset is, how he feels, what he's going to play with tonight. It is 7 o'clock on the hour, so I would imagine we're going to get ready to get rolling here pretty soon. As I mentioned, well, you see Steve Bixler, he did get a lap time in. Those are your 20 drivers there on the left-hand side of your screen. So everybody will make the show tonight unless we get a ridiculous push here towards the end and a bunch of guys decide to show up. There we go. Checkered flag is going to wave, and we're going to get ready to roll into qualifying. So no Brandon. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Brandon Templeton is here. We'll just pick his car a while. No, odds are, it's going to be him first, but we'll see. We'll just make sure we're selected onto Brandon Templeton. So we're just. Oh, he wasn't in the car first. Oh, we may have an upset. We may have an upset, or did Brandon Templeton just pass him? All right. He's on the inside. Brandon Templeton, he said, Kurt, you can beat me to the car, but you're not going to beat me to the bridge. Brandon Templeton, almost not the first driver out there for qualifying, and that would have been, I mean, if you bet on that at the pay window, the payout would have been crazy for that. So Brandon Templeton rolls the bottom here through 1 and 2, lap number 1. See what he decides to do here through 3 and 4. Same thing, going to rope the bottom. He's going to keep it down there. Not going to slide up to the middle there in the center of the corner. And Brandon Templeton, lap number 1. Going to be a 29.2 here is William Watson now. He goes to the top spot with a 20.86. What can Bart do here? Final time through 3 and 4, but we see a purple-green for the Sam Maconda, and he takes over. Quick time, the 007 of Sam Bachman. He's got one more lap. Can he improve second time around here? I don't know if he's going to need it. He's a ways up the road, almost a full tenth of a second here for the 007 as he crosses the line. He does improve through sector 2, but not going to improve the lap. Sam Bachman with a 20.78 here, going to be your current quick time. And see who else we have. We got Brennan Lacey coming across. So be to start lap. No, it won't. That was lap number 1. My apologies. Brennan Lacey in the 114, currently P17. Let's see what he can do second time around. He's not going to do anything because he's going to run out of time. That's going to do it for qualifying. We're going to get ready to roll into heat race number 1. 2 heat races this evening, if my math is correct. 10 guys, 10 plus 10. I'm getting 20 all day. Row 5 to the outside, the mare in the 75. Steve Bixler to the inside, the 114 of the low line master, Brennan Lacey. Row 4 to the outside, the 390 of Mike Brewer to the inside, the 66 of Mike. I may happen to smoke a little weeder. Row 3 to the outside, the 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer. To the inside, the 883 of Bud Molyneux. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 007 of the Sam Maconda, Sam Bachman. To the inside, the 122 of Brian Dickens. In row 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. To the inside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. As we reset this overlay here, we got one more lap to, think about what we can do here to further our advances out here in heat race number 1. It is going to be tough to beat Dino right now. I mean, if Dino can go in here, get a good run, slide up in front of Dylan, I doubt Dylan goes super, super aggressive. And, well, Mr. Nice Guy back here outside of row number 2, he is not going to, push his teammates super hard. I've been on him late. What? Hey, there he goes. He gives him a push. I'll tell you what, I got on him at the spring fling. I told him, I said, Sam, you're quick. You're letting too many guys push you around out there. You need to, start racing like, a little bit. Get some respect out there. Make them earn it from you. And we'll see. Maybe he took my advice, pushing his teammate down the backstretch as the green flag waves. We're underway. 8 laps to play in the clay. Oh, Dino tried it, but Dylan Kinsey said, no way. He swings around the outside. The 639 leads him going into 3. Here comes the 122 of Brian Dickens. Brian started third, up the second here. Is what can he do? Can he get a couple more? I can't believe how loud that camera is. My apologies. We got to do this really quick. I must have been calling a micro sprint race, for Jesus' sake. I mean, that is blowing the eardrums out here as we go down the front stretch. Dylan Kinsey continues to lead the way. Brian Dickens trying to maybe look for a little counter. He enters high into 1, looks for a cut down as they're side by side entering 3. Brian Dickens looking to win here at the Williams Grove Speedway, and the first step is to win heat race number 1. The 122 swinging it low, can't slide up in front of that 639 of the Dill Pickle, Dylan Kinsey. Brian swinging low one more time. Is he going to get the slide job? Dillon fighting back on the outside. Side by side. Oh, no. Dino giving a little shot there to the 122. And the 639 taking full advantage here, trying to pull away as we go up top. You can see him right back to side-by-side racing here for the lead. And Sam Bachman working underneath that 79. Can't fit up in line. And Superman, he's got the cape flapping on the outside. He's looking to get the spot on Sam Bachman as they're side-by-side. Entering 3. The 007 able to wash up in front of the cape wearing 218. But we've got 2 laps to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. And Dylan Kinsey going to try to bring it home. But Brian Dickens, he's got room. Nobody behind him. Does he make a big move here as we come to the final lap? White flag set to wave. 1 lap to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. As we go under the bridge here for the final time, Brian Dickens, is he close enough to make a move? He is right there. Does he swing it downstairs? He's going to try. Dylan not going to give him a lot of room, and why should he? He sees the checkered flag, and he's going to win heat race number 1, followed by Brian Dickens, Dino, Sam, Kurt, Brewer, Molyneux, Weta, Lacey, and Bixler. Get ready here. We'll take a look at the starting grid heat race number 2. Row 5 to the outside, the 051 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. To the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. To the inside, the Deuce of Harold Klump. Row 3 to the outside, the 17 of Billy Roberts. To the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 23 of Bart, William Watson. To the inside, the 444 of Scott Rayone. Row 1 for heat race number 2. Winner will start on the outside of the front row for tonight's Full Throttle Motorsports 358 Modified A main. The 011 of Randall Dixon to the top shelf, and starting on the pole, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. Refreshed you, will refresh me. 1 lap to green, this time by. See, we got Barry out there rooting for the Full Throttle Motorsports gang as well. Trevor just still in that chat box instead of getting out here racing. I don't know what he's doing tonight. But he ain't here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm going to come visit Shaggy here in his hometown. I shouldn't say hometown. I mean, that's a stretch. It's 15 minutes away. You know, driving 65 up the highway. But definitely where I found my love for the dirt tracks. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. 8 laps to play in the clay. Heat race number 2 is underway. B-Temp with a good jump on the bottom, and he's going to slide up in front of Randall Dixon and Scott Rayome. He may have got the memo, man. He followed him. He goes from 3rd to 2nd. Good move for the 444 of Scott Rayome. As Scotty now, he's got a chance to go battling for the lead here. Wasted no time, and that's the importance here. You can't waste time. You got to be ready to go, and Scotty doing exactly that here is William Watson. Now he's trying to get a run. He gets into the back of Randall Dixon. He gets him sideways. They get on the binders. He's going to lose the most out of it, but Jeff Barker and William Watson caught up in it. Man, oh man, not the way they want to have heat race number 2 go, but plenty of time here to make up time. when we go feature racing, I believe doing 25, possibly 30 laps here. So that is plenty of time at the half-mile Williams Grove Speedway. So Scott Rayome trying to work here. What can he do? Going to get a big run here off of 2. You can see he exited a little higher. He's going to swing wide into 3. What's it mean coming off of 4? He's trying that cut down, but he just overdrives the entry and can't get to the bottom of the racetrack by the time he's exiting 4. And this is going to allow that Ant-Man of Anthony Morano to maybe get up here, make this a 3-car battle here before we know it. Let's ride along with the Ant-Man. Anthony Morano right behind his teammate here as he takes a peek underneath. Scotty going to have a big run on the outside. He's going to be able to hold him off for the time being. We've only got 2.5 laps to go here. 2 this time by as we come out of 4. I just don't know if Anthony Morano is going to be able to get around Scott Rayome, especially because I know Scott thinks he should be leading this race. He's got a quick race car, but right now just can't maneuver around that 31 of B-Temp. As we roll through 3 and 4, Brandon Templeton set to take that white flag in the dirt track bank 31 machine. May start on the outside of the front row here for tonight's feature. As we roll off at 2 for the final time, Scott Rayome not really close enough to make a move here, but B-Temp going to protect anyways. Goes down to the basement. And as we roll off a 4 for the final time, Brandon Templeton wins heat race number 2, followed by Rayome, Morano, Roberts, Christopherson, Klump, DeGood, Dixon, Watson, and Barker. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back with the 358A main right after this. Stick around. We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Almost that time here. Gather up the chickens and round up the cows here. It is going to be an exciting A main here with your Full Throttle Motorsports 358 modified. So hopefully you got that popcorn bowl ready and your drink fully loaded, because it's about go time here as we get set to read you tonight's starting lineup. Row 10, rounding out the field on the high side, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. To the inside, the 75 of the Mare, Steve Bixler. Row 9 to the outside, the 23 of Bart William Watson. And to the inside, the 114 of the Lowline Master, Brennan Lacey. Row 8 to the outside, the 011 of Randall Dixon. To the inside, the 66 of Mike Weeda. Row 7 to the outside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. To the inside, the 883 of Bud Molyneux. Row 6 to the outside, the Deuce of Harold Klump. To the inside, the 390 of Mike Brewer. Row 5 to the outside, the 051 of Putt Putt Clay Christofferson. To the inside, the 218 of Superman Kurt Schatzer. Row 4 to the outside, the 17 of Billy Roberts. To the inside, the 007 of the Sam Akonda, Sam Bachman. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 32 of the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. To the inside, the 79 of Dino, Dean Reynolds. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 444 of Scott Rayome. To the inside, the 122 of Brian Dickens. Row 1 for tonight's Full Throttle Motorsports 358 modified A main. To the outside, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. And starting on the pole, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. We'll have to see who's going to bring this one home. This really is 30 laps here at the Williams Grove Speedway. This could go any sort of way. I mean, I've seen them go green the whole way. I've seen them be filled with cautions. I've seen guys come from the back, and I've seen guys like Dylan Kinsey lead all 30 laps. So be ready for whatever here as we drive down the front stretch for the final time. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. 30 laps to play in the clay at the Williams Grove Speedway. We're 3 wide already. The Ant-Man on the outside. 66 there in the middle. Putt-putt getting bounced around. And boy, oh boy, we lived to play another day. But that was an exciting... Oh, I jinxed them. They did not live to play another day. Indeed, we did not make it here, as there was something a little further back with Mike Weeda and Steve Bixler. Steve Bixler there, you can see missing that left front tire. So this had happened fairly early here. Just no caution flag came out. And you'll see the 66 try to go up over the top here. You'll see him just overshoot this a little bit. Gonna get into the back of the 680 or the 883. That's Bud Molyneux. He's just gonna shoot around. Bixler gets into him. Barker with nowhere to go hits him as well, and that's gonna push him into that inside, and that's where Bixler loses the left front there. Turn 1, lap 1. Always chaos here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Well, not always, but man, I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 times it is. You hold your breath. People got different lifting points, and it's just everyone really playing a guessing game in the early stage here. You got to get a couple laps under your belt, get a feel for what's going on around you. Is everybody starting to tighten up here? Guys just getting double fouled. Well, just because, you know. Dylan going to tell them, hey, I want the bottom. Which maybe, you know, now obviously you got to play your game here, but that being said, I am playing a game, and if I'm the 639, I'm going to start up high because I'm trying to count down those two guys on the outside behind me to get to battling with that 31 and the 122 because, as you can see, Paints have similar sponsors. Well, that's because they're teammates. The 122 of Brian Dickens and Brandon Templeton going to need to work together in this sea of FTM cars. Right now, the top 7 is either Hammer Down Racing or Full Throttle Motorsports. As the green flag set the wave, we're back underway. Good start there for Dylan Kinsey. Now, what do Brian Dickens here and Brandon Templeton do? Scott Rayome wanted in the mix there, almost made it 3 wide. Is this 3 wide behind him? Teammates, the 007 got to check up. Sammy Bachman, Mr. Nice Guy there in the 007, living to race another day. Could have got aggressive there, but played the smart move, and we are wrecking. It is a junkyard over there in 3 and 4, but we continue to roll. No caution flag, and boy, oh boy, not too sure if we just had some guys toe kind of give up on that thing, but we were parked, then all of a sudden we were rolling, and the 31 is rolling in the basement here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. He is all over that 639 of Dylan Kinsey, and we may see a new leader here in a couple laps if B-Temp can just mount that charge, man. He is right there, and he wants to take a bite of the apple. I told you, there he goes, side by side, couldn't do it. But man, oh man, he is flexing his muscles. And the 31 trying to get there, but he's not going to like that bottom through 1 and 2. He's going to have to give up on that. He's going to have to shake it off, get his head back in the game here, as Dean Reynolds may have to do the same here. He gets shrugged up to the outside and may lose this spot to his teammate there in the 007, Sam Bachman. As Dino rolls the outside, feeling more comfortable there through 1 and 2, able to clear him and hold off the charge for now. But here comes Brian Dickens, the Shark, working the bottom here, trying to get to the back of his teammate. Scott Rayome right there as well, man. He's got a pretty good view of what's going on. Let's take a peek at it. My homie Scott Rayome currently 4th here. Can he pick off another one? I'll tell you, I know this boy. I can't remember what we said the combination was, what we were calling him. Was it? Oh, man. Cream cheese and bacon? Sour cream and bacon? I can't remember what the combo was, but boy, oh boy, he's got it cooking right now, and he is right behind that 122. Let's see if Scott Rayome can make his move. Takes a peek on the inside, but can't do it here, and we'll zoom out. We'll kind of see lots of single file racing here around the racetrack. First real battle is Dino trying to work around that 32. And Scott Rayome as well. So you're not missing much. This is, you know, you're going to have to be patient here at Williams Grove. You need that guy to have a little hiccup in front of you if you want to work that angle and get around him. But B-Tap, here he goes. Side by side for the lead through 3 and 4. But the 639 says, man, you're going to have to bring a little more. Dylan Kinsey feeling himself right now on the top shelf here. But we are only a third of the way through. 20 laps to play at the Williams Grove Speedway, and that's 10 miles, boy. I mean, anything can happen here. So a lifetime to make a mistake and a lifetime to overdrive that race car, and B-Temp almost just did that there as he sent it into 1. Brandon Templeton, you can see those little bits of shine. That's where you do not want to get your rear tires You won't be able to put the power down. You can see how nasty it is on corner entry to 1. It's real slick there through the center. And that's why you're seeing all these guys go high, wide, and handsome, just trying to avoid the whole nonsense down there as Brandon Templeton works back to the inside one more time, but he just can't do it. Same old, you know what, just a different day, and B-Temp's got to try to get it some other way here at the Williams Grove Speedway. It is just not going to work. He is going to swing it one more time. And I'm not going to be able to get to the view I wanted to get to of the over top. We'll go to it now here just in case that is not it. That is it. The other C word, the chopper. As we'll see here, does Brandon swing it in one more time? No, and Brian Dickens, he's going to play a little defense. You see Scott Rayone, can he get a run off of 4? Does he think about a slide job into 1? Oh, Scott may have had the chance to do it, but he didn't pull the trigger. And Scott Rayone, man, he's going to wish he made that move here. I'm telling you, the 122 going down, he's going to defend one more time. Scott not going to hit 3 and 4 like he did the last time. And, man, that could have been it. That could have been Scott Rayone's moment. As Brian Dickens seems to have gotten it back together there on the bottom. And maybe these final 15 or so laps, well, 14 to go, 13 this time by, we may see the bottom. I warned you all about it. Bottom will come in at some point in time, and that time may be now as Brandon Templeton and your leader Dylan Kinsey approach lap traffic. Uh-oh. Harold Klump, severe damage after that parking lot incident we saw in 3 and 4 that didn't bring out the caution. And I'm telling you, if I'm these two, I'm buckling up here. I'm pulling the belts tight. It could get wild here. We're going to catch lap traffic with 11 to go. Harold Klump does an excellent job of getting out of the way on the bottom. Gets out of the way of your leaders, and I'll tell you, that could have been nasty, but Harold did a great job. I thought it was going to go much worse than that, and there's some contact here in the battle for third. Scott Rayone going high and handsome at the 32 of Anthony Morano. He gets pinched out off exit there, and he's going to tell Scott, hey, I'm getting runs on the bottom. We're going to have to figure this out. As we're battling for the lead, and once again, Dylan Kinsey cuts back underneath, but Brandon Templeton, he is ready to pop the cork, man. He is rolling through the bottom of 3 and 4, new leader, but here comes Dylan one more time. 9 laps to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. Brandon Templeton trying to come at the 6:39. Dylan Kinsey going to go downstairs and protect. B-Temp knew it. He's going to swing high, try to get a drive off the corner. He gets pinched. Dylan Kinsey going to go around. Oh, Brian Dickens goes around as well. And battling for the lead, there's contact. Dylan Kinsey goes around, and at first glance, you know, that is just damn hard racing. Let's tell it how it is. And I mean, I don't get to look at the screen you're looking at now. I didn't, looking at my other thing, I didn't rewind far enough. My apologies. You can see here, well, that dang tree's going to get in the way. Let's see, actually, sometimes we can trick this camera. Yep, see, now all of a sudden the chopper's over here. Okay, so, you know, I mean, Brandon had been making up time on the bottom through 3 and 4. He had just, you know, threw that slide job the previous lap and got crossed over. So Dylan knew it was coming. Brandon Templeton going to swing to the outside here. And Dylan, he's clear. I mean, man, you know, if you're Brandon, you know it's coming. Yeah, that definitely it's 50-50. Not as much on Dylan as there. I originally wanted to blame the 639 for, because we'll go on board here with Templeton. And obviously, you know, it's frustrating getting blocked. It is, but that's racing. That's a part of it. slide job's racing and you see the guy coming up and you don't want to lift. You think you're going to make it. And it just, the hole closes right as you get there. And just one of the, just part of racing, you know? I mean, when you're running that hard, battling for the lead, going that quick, that kind of stuff is going to happen. And, you know, I haven't been biting my tongue as much when I see stuff I don't like, but, you know, that's just racing. I really do think that. I mean, obviously, you know, maybe a little more falls on the 31 than the other side, but it's not like, you know, you're trying to drive in there and take them out intentionally. You're not going to do it that way. You're not going to risk pinching yourself in the outside wall. If, you know, you wanted to get around, you would have taken him out on corner entry. He could have followed him into the corner and drove deep on the bottom and did it much easier than that if he wanted to do it that way. So it's definitely, in my eyes, you know, maybe responsibility a little lies on the 31, but there's no jerk intentions behind that. As the green flag waves, we're back underway. 7 laps to play at the Williams Grove Speedway as Brandon Templeton going to drive up to the outside, hit that cushion, and look to pull away because he's going to have 4 teammates there. That 639 right behind him, who are going to make him work for this thing if they can get there. So we'll have to see. Can he do it? Superman Kurt Schatzer is trying to stay out of the way of the leaders there. You can see him get off pit road late. He doesn't want to play a factor in this. William Watson looking on the bottom 3 wide. Roberts was under the 007 of Sam Bachman, but Sam prevails there on the outside. The 007 looking pretty good here, but he's running out of room here. That's closing up on the back of the 79, and all of a sudden he's all out of real estate. He's got the 32 to the inside, the 79 right off the nose. And Scott Rayome, he's got to go. He's running out of time as well. 4 laps this time by as we come off of 4. 2 miles left to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. Scott able to really close up there on the entry to 1. It's 3 and 4 where he's just not having as much luck as the 31 of Templeton, who's able to get right down on the inside and really hook that thing up. Scotty just overdriving a little bit on entry and missing that bottom tack, but he gets some of it back here on the entry to 1 as Sam Bachman. He's going to go where he's comfortable. He loves that bottom. Does he try it through 3 and 4? No, going to make me a liar here. Too much grip on the outside, swinging it wide. 2 to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. Brandon Templeton, can he hold on here? A lap and a half to go as we cross under the bridge. Brandon Templeton going to protect the bottom here through 3 and 4, but the 444's got it screaming on the top shelf. I just don't know if he can get there. Half a mile to play. White flag waves. Brandon Templeton crossing under the bridge for the final time. He's a half a lap away from becoming a 358 modified feature winner at the Williams Grove Speedway. Checkered flag waves. B-Temp reach up and grab it. He gets it done, followed by the 444 of Scott Rayome, Dean Reynolds, Sam Bachman, and Billy Roberts. Rounds out the top 5 here at the Williams Grove Speedway. And we are going to give these guys a minute or 2 to catch their breath. Lord knows I need to catch mine. So we'll see if we can't get a word here with that driver in the 79 machine. I promise I'm not stroking out. Just waiting for Dino to grab his walker and make his way up into the waiting room here. Here we go. There he is. We'll pull him up here. Dino, what's going on, man? P3. It looked like it was going to be hairy in the beginning. 2 early cautions, but man, then we got the long green flag run, and I think that's just what the guys needed here to settle down a little bit.
Just my car was good, and then I kind of stabilized, and I had a couple good runs there in the middle, beginning of the race there, and I had some runs on Scotty on the outside there, and I just couldn't quite get alongside of him, or else I think I could have got up one more spot. And then at the end, I thought, okay, this is gonna be all right. Let's go. And then Brandon and Scotty still pulled away a little bit, and and I think I was holding up Sam just a hair there. So I'm glad it's a 30-lap race and not a 35-lap race. But we'll take it. It's Williams Grove, another podium, and you know I like this place, and just got another podium, and we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, this track, Dean, it really does, man. I mean, iRacing, obviously, it's got its hiccups, but it seems like every time we've been coming here, man, it's a different racetrack. And tonight, it seemed like the bottom there at the end, maybe a little quicker from what Scotty and Brandon were doing, but man, oh man, it was so thin that it just seemed so difficult to hit. Is that why you stayed away from it?
I tried it once in 3 and 4, and because those guys were, and I just did that to more or less kind of block Sam's lane because he was trying it, and I felt terrible, so I went right back up to the top. So I just got to learn how to run this a little bit better on the bottom. Sometimes I get comfortable, sometimes I don't, but because this track was so fast up top, I can't pace myself when I'm flooring it going up top, and then okay, let's go to the bottom and feather it. I don't have the discipline to do that, so I just went back up top, did what I know to do, and got there. But Williams Grove, I tell you, I said this the last time when we talked to Hometown Heroes last week. This track is one of the better ones since the new seasons and stuff. And I'll race here every week if we had to.
Yeah, man, it's been putting on some good racing. Obviously, that turn 1, lap 1. That's that's interesting always at Williams Grove till you kind of get that feel for guys behind you. But man, when you pace out and you get to throw that, show what you got, it's neat. You got to work for what you get here. And bringing home a P3, that's a hell of a run, man. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
Well, we got to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports. We got 2 of the 3 podiums, and congratulations on Brandon. He's getting some runs, and creating a nice challenge, and I enjoy that. So, congrats on him. But thanks to the guys at the FTM Swan Speed Shop. Swanee does love to build 358 sets, and I do think Brandon's running Swanee sets too. I don't know if he's going to tell you or not, but I know Brian Dickens is a client of Swanee, and and they're teammates. So I'm just wondering if they're feeding off each other. So it'd be pretty cool if Swanee did build the set. But if you want 358 sets, go to swanspeedshop.com. Code C2C, get 20% off the setups. And like I said before, a lot of builders like doing big block sets, but Swanee really likes to build 358s as well. And go there for these open setup nights, and feel right at home with his sets. And then gotta thank you for doing the broadcast. Gotta thank my brethren, Ford Throttle Motorsports, for the sponsorship to have you broadcast Monday. And I think we can let the cat out of the bag, Shaggy, because looks like you're going to be a Monday mainstay for next season, aren't you?
Yeah, man. Definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully, I won't burst it, but Marty, I think will still be around for some charity stuff, but he's just been so busy, man. It's going to be nice for him to get a break, and then he'll come back recharged.
Yeah, and Marty's doing a lot of sports stuff on his own, and that's great. I mean, as much as we want to do the iRacing, and that's what an old fat guy like me does, it's just iRacing, but Marty does a lot of collegiate sports and high school sports and stuff, and he's going to further his career in that.
Wears hot dog suits.
Yeah.
I love Marty for that.
He didn't lose a bet, but he had to lose a bet to wear that damn wiener.
You would think so, man. Well, they wouldn't have had one big enough for me. You know that. Oh man.
Well, it's here. I wish I would be the foot long, but I can't even get that.
I feel you. Well, hey, you're gonna come back for the sprints?
I am going to be in for Renegades, but I don't know how much because I got a football draft that's supposed to start at 8:30. So I got a feeling I might be in there just to get my race in because I need 5 to stay Renegades, and I don't know how much I can race. But we'll give it a shot and see what happens. But yeah, I want to run here because it's Williams Grove. But if not, then real life sets in. But I've also got to thank Super Dirt Car Series. If you want to watch Super Dirt Car Series, watch it on Dirt Vision. Got to thank my employer as well. So always good talking to you, Shagan.
Yeah, as always, Dean. Good luck here, and man, go kill that fantasy draft.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Dino bringing home P3, and now we're going to bring up the man who brought P2. If Scott's even still alive after, I know me and Dean, we talked for a while. I don't know if you ran out of oxygen down there in the waiting room or not, but man, you had a great run tonight. You had a good view of that battle, and obviously, I know it's not what you guys want to see out there, but man, you guys were just so damn fast, running hard, and when those two make the contact, it moves you up to P2. Did you think you had a chance to go win this thing?
Yeah, I mean, when I couldn't tell if Brandon's car was damaged, I couldn't even tell mine was damaged until we went into turn one. When we got on the gas, I could see Brandon's car was just a little bit out of shape, so I thought maybe I had an opportunity, and I rolled the bottom in 1 and 2 the one time, and sorry, my daughter's dog is going nuts. Shut up. And
I'm just glad mine doesn't hear it, or he'd be doing it too.
yeah, I'm babysitting the dog. You got a broken toe, so hey, so yeah, I mean, I rolled the bottom that one time, and I gained on him in 1 and 2, and then the next lap he went down there. So I'm like, well, he obviously saw I was going to catch him down there, so he switched lines, which that's the smart thing to do. So can't fault him for that. Hate the contact, hate it for DK. Hate it for Brian Dickens because I saw them get sideways, so I dove to the bottom, and I think Brian must have lifted or something because I ended up getting to the back of him. I was just going to stay hammered down just to get around him before anything else happened, and I think Brian might have lifted or not, whatnot. But so I ended up getting to the back of Brian. Hate it for him. I mean, I was trying everything I could. I even asked Tony because Tony was behind me before that happened, and I'm like, dude, what do I got to do here? I'm throwing everything I possibly can, and I'm right there without getting into him. There's no way I'm getting around him right now, and then that, like a lap later, that happened. So it sucks. I had a first time I really had a just telling B-Temp in the waiting room there. First time I've been relevant this late in a season, so it feels good that aspect. But I think it's kind of out of reach at this point now. So, congrats to B-Temp. He's ran a great year. So
now, Scott, I'm a piece of crap broadcaster, so I assume Brandon Templeton is the point leader with the way you're talking right now. You'd think I could have looked over.
With the drops, yeah, I was leading last week going in without the drops. With the drops, he was like 7 points ahead of me and Sam or something like that, maybe 9 points. Can't remember. But now I got destroyed last week, and Sam was running the fling, so pretty much B-Temps to lose at that point. So, congrats to him. He ran a hell of a season. So,
well, Scott, it's nice because I can tell you, I know I can hear, the disappointment in your voice, but let's be honest, man. Well, you're a lot damn better than me now, but there used to be a time where, these guys stomping us. They're still stomping me, man, but you're up there. You're running with them now, and who knows what next season's going to bring, man. You got a lot of speed you got to watch out for. Good run tonight, man, on the P2. Who you want to thank?
Well, first foremost, just got to thank all the guys over at FTM. Without them, I mean, like you just touched on, I'd still be the guy spinning around in the back, just happy to be out there and throwing mud around. But I thank all the guys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop. This is where we go, man. This is what we run. Dean at Super Dirt Car, Expert Insulation. You, Shaggy, for all the broadcasts, and obviously Shaggy TV. Trading paints is stupid. I got you on my car. I might not have you on. I don't even know what car is showing up on the broadcast. So
red and white.
The red and white one. Okay, so it's the FTM Express car, which it's supposed to be the other one that has your logo on it, but whatever. I'm about ready to just toss the whole shit out the window at this point. Everybody at Coast to Coast for doing giving us a place to run every week, and I don't know who I forgot, man. If I forgot anybody, oh well, they'll have to deal with
it. Well, hey, good run, Scott. Hopefully, I'm talking to you again later, man.
All right, bub.
Scott Rayom bringing home P2, and now we're gonna finally get to tonight's winner. And from what Scott was telling me, Brandon, I'm terrible. You'd think I should have glanced at that points list before I looked at this thing. But he's telling me, man, it's been quite the season. And with another win here at Williams Grove, man, this might be your championship to lose here, rolling into week 12, man. How are we feeling after that big win?
I mean, I'll take it. I feel bad for Kinsey there. I'd rather always, win them clean, but we got to that point where it was you got to decide to let off and cut down or go around the outside. And I was right just when I'd committed to the outside, he slid up and we got together. But no, we'll take it. I don't know about the points things. Those drop weeks are goofy to me. Just when you think you figure it out, it throws a wrench at you. So I'll just let it play out. We'll try to get here next week. I don't know. I got 3 daughters starting up sports about this time of year, so summer season's my race hard. So we'll see if we can make this next week and see if we can pull it off.
Well, man, I hope you can. And, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, that's as racing incident as it can be. That's 50-50 right down the middle. He knew what you were going to do there. You had been making time on the bottom through 3 and 4. So he shuts the door. And, I mean, at that point, that's really your only choice to swing it up there high. And, I mean, through 3 and 4, there wasn't much of that cut down. He had to know you were coming. That's why, at the end of the day, that it relies on you. You're the one that got in the back. But, man, as a racer, that's coming. And you guys were putting on such a good battle, man. It was so much fun to watch. So don't beat yourself up too bad. It was a great win tonight, Brandon. Congratulations, man. Who you want to thank?
I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank, everybody with Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, Hammer Down Racing, Joe Kurt, Brian's giving us killer setups, you for putting an awesome stream, Flatline Racing Bodies, everybody helping out with the sponsorship, Full Throttle Motorsports, I think helps out there too. You for putting on an awesome stream, everyone at Coast to Coast. Thanks.
Hey, great run, Brandon. And, if you can't make it next week, I'm hoping you still get that championship. But good luck to all your daughters this year in sports, man. Have fun.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Brandon Templeton bringing home the win here at the Williams Grove Speedway. And with that, we're going to take a short break here. We'll be right back with a little Rebels race in action here. Little 360 sprint cars, B division, the Williams Grove Speedway. Up next.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we talked about it.
outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman here with Shaggy TV. Ready to bring you part 2 of 3. Here for your Flatline Racing Bodies Monday Night Madness. This part here, the B Rebels, brought to you by the Salty Dogs Race Team, proud sponsor of the Rebels Sprint Car Division. And right now, looking like we got 9 guys out here. And now I haven't, been around a lot on Mondays. Your boy's been busy. But I've been hearing it's been the Chad Griggs show. Oh my. Did I just jinx Chad Griggs? I had it running high and wide there, and we'll checkered flag ways. We're going to go qualifying. We'll see, man, but it is, from what I understand and from what I've been seeing in the winning photos there Tuesday morning, it has been Chad Griggs Funland here. The 09 of Ted York. He was the quickest guy on the charts here. So let's see what Ted does. He goes out here and can get quick time. The 09. Going to take the green flag. Going to roll that center there through 1 and 2. Going to get off that cushion a little bit. Bike down off of 2. Run the bottom through 3 and 4. Low and slow. The only way to go. Chad Griggs, purple sector 1, though. Ted York's purple sector 2. They trade sectors, but Chad Griggs with the quick time. 17-2-3, and we'll show you the lap times here if I remember to go back to the gap. We'll find Chad Griggs here for the second time around. Purple sector 2. What's it mean for Chad? He does improve a little bit of 17-1-8 as Gavin Shaw comes across. P2 with a 17-2-3, Gavin Shaw. Gonna have some speed here tonight as Scott Rayome just finished on the podiums in the 358 modifieds. Let's see what he can do here in the 360 sprint cars. Scott Rayome, P8 for the time being, and not too sure if we'll run 2 heat races, a 5 and a 4, or if it'll just be 9 guys. I haven't been around, like I say, on Mondays, so not too sure how they'll decide to set this thing up. So we're going to find out together. Well, actually, we'll bring this back up because they qualified pretty fast. No, they didn't. Did it right on time. There you see 0-1. Now we'll get ready to roll over here. See how many cars we get for the starting grid here. Heat race number 1, and it is going to be all 9. So however we finish heat race number 1 is how we're going to grid up for tonight's A main here for the Salty Dogs Rebel Sprint cars. Rounding out the field, that's 7, 8, 9, a Cale Bixler to the inside of row 5. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 444 of Scott Rayome to the inside, the 8 of Sean Fry. Row 3 to the outside, the 9 of Isaac Bowman to the inside, the 888 of Steve Maurer. Row 2 to the top shelf, our Knoxville Nationals champion, the 270 of Chad Griggs to the inside, the 710 of Gavin Shaw. Row 1 for your one and only heat race to the outside, the 009 of Teddy York. And starting on the pole, the 006 of the Doc, Mike Watson. I don't know what we did to not have to refresh that, but that's cool. Now I'm not going to know what to do for a lap and a half. Normally, I'm quiet there, and it's because I'm fishing to fix my overlay. But when it goes right, I don't know, it just almost feels wrong. Pace around here. If you're out there watching, I'm getting a message there on the YouTube that says the bit rate looks off. Have you had any problems freezing? If you don't mind writing in there, just tell me if it's good or not. You know how I am, man. That dang anxiety. I'll panic this whole time, flopping back and forth. It tells me the stream status is good. I'm in the green, but it says my bit rate is lower than recommended. Recommending that I use a 13.5 bit rate. So there you go. You heard that, Patrick Smangler. Maybe I need to up this thing. As the green flag set the wave, we're underway. Heat race number 1 at the Williams Grove Speedway. The Doc trying to slide up in front of Teddy, but no, can't do it. And here comes your Knoxville Nationals champion, 4th to 1st, and a corner and a half here. Chad Griggs leading the way, lap number 1 at the Williams Grove Speedway. Gavin Shaw fighting on the bottom here. He's trying to work. You saw he had a quick time there in qualifying. But right now, working through traffic, that is another ball game, man. Yeah, it is not going to be easy to work around, guys. That's why it's so impressive what Chad Griggs did out there in front. So we go in the nose here of 3rd place, the Doc, Mike Watson. He was looking for a big send there, but just couldn't find it. You see he's overdriving the center a little bit, losing a little time on exit. But he's making up a... No! He swung the hammer! Oh, wild ride! Wild ride! He's going to end up on the side! Whoa! So I went on the nose. We saw it coming. He was swinging that bag, man. He was hammering in those corners. And Chad Griggs, 4.5 seconds up the road. Good night. He's going to win heat race number 1. He can drive in reverse. For the final 3 laps is Isaac Bowman and Sean Fry. Going to be the main battle here on the racetrack. Sean running around in that all-white 8. Bowman, the all-black 9. As there's 2 laps to go. Bowman sliding up, grabbing the cushion. Sean trying to see what he can do. White flag waves, 1 lap to play. As you see the battle for second, it is heating up. Sean may have a move, but we're going to go to your leader here, Chad Griggs, who's already taken the checkered flag. What's it going to look like off of 4? Bowman going to get P2, Fry 3rd, Maurer 4th, Bixler 5th, Shaw 6th, Watson 7th, York 8th, and Scott Rayome P9. We just ran, commercials. So, as far as I'm concerned, the debt's paid. Not going right back to commercials, but you are going to see me do some stuff with the cameras. I will probably mute my mic so I can curse at said cameras because I did this before the last race and then forgot to save my volumes, which, I do probably 8 out of 10 times. But yeah, stick around here. We'll get to see some sights and definitely some sounds here, and then we'll go racing. A little over 2 minutes here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Well, good enough. Good enough. That's what we're going to say anyway. There's only 4 guys out there on the racetrack. Let's ride along one of them here. That's not what we want. Which one do we want? That's not what we want either. That's what we want. Just to see the way he's sawing on that wheel. You want to keep it as straight as you can. That's why you can see he's kind of setting himself up center off. Really not trying to turn that wheel much. You just use the throttle to rotate the car. Chad Griggs, now he's going to be doing a little different there on the bottom. He's going to have to work it. When he goes up top, you'll see not much fight there. He just goes up, grabs that cushion, and drives it off. And that is where you're going to find all that speed. Chad Griggs definitely has the speed, top of the charts here. As we get ready to roll into your Salty Dogs Rebels 360 Sprint A main, we'll get ready to take a look here at our starting lineup. Rounding out the field in the 444, Scott Rayome to the inside of row 5. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 009 of Teddy York. To the inside the dock, Mike Watson. Row 3 to the outside, the 710 of Gavin Shaw. To the inside, the 789 of Cale Bixler. Row 2 to the outside, the 888 of Steve Maurer. To the inside, the 8 of Sean Fry. In row 1 for your Salty Dogs Rebels Division 360 sprint cars here at the Williams Grove Speedway. To the outside, the 9 of Isaac Bowman. And starting on the pole, your Knoxville Nationals champion, the 270 of Chad Griggs. It's Chad Griggs, man. He's already tough to beat, dude. You put him on the front row, I just don't know. And I even say front row, you know, but I mean pole. Geez, that's one better. You let him sniff the front, man. He is tough. And 30 laps, you know, track pretty fresh. I don't know how beat up it's going to get. I mean, we will see maybe another lane or two develop. But it's going to be just about going fast and hitting your marks. And Chad Griggs, one of the absolute best at doing that. So I look forward to interviewing Chad Griggs last here. I would assume that's no shot at anyone else, but got here and, as a matter of fact, make it or prove me wrong here. Let's see if somebody can knock off the king of Knoxville as we roll out of 4 for the final time. The green flag is high. It's set to fly. 30 laps to play in the clay. We're underway at the Williams Grove Speedway. Bowman trying for a little over-under there, but couldn't get by the 270 of Chad Griggs. He's able to hold off, but we're battling behind here. Scott Rayome to the outside. Gavin Shaw already up 2 spots as well, working that 710. But here comes Steve Maurer trying to claw back. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we are battling all over the racetrack here. Not so much up front, but they are working in the back. Scott Rayome gets in the outside wall. He's going to fall back to 8th here. Scott going to have to work it here. Going to have to try to improve. Get himself back up. There's a 789 of Kel Bixler. Tries to get around Steve Maurer, but here comes Teddy York on the inside. We know the 09 has speed. Can he get back up to the front? Ted York working the bottom here through 3 and 4. Oh, he tried to get up and shut the door. And Bixler allowed him here. Live to race another day. Cale being smart there in that Maurer Farm Management 789 machine. As meanwhile, Chad Griggs picking him up and laying him down. 5 laps in the books, 25 to go. Leads the way by a second over Isaac Bowman, who's doing a good job of keeping him in those sights. But, man, he's going to have to get a lot closer here. Really going to have to start tugging on that chain. Gavin Shaw rounding out that final podium spot for the moment. He's got a comfortable gap over Sean Fry, who gets a little loose. Steve Maurer did as well, and that's going to allow Teddy to try to rip the stuffing out of that 88. Ted York, boy, oh boy, can't do it here. Going to go down one more time through 3 and 4. Just can't find the grip here. He's going to have to maybe roll that top side, look for a big slide job, get a run here as they make contact. Going down the backstretch, Steve Maurer continues to hold him off, but for how long? The answer's not long. Teddy gets it done. 22 laps to go. All the makings of a long green flag run here as we're going to have 8 in the books. Blackjack on the clock, 21 to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. 10.5 miles, and Chad Griggs, he's building up that lead. 1.2 seconds over Tyler Bowman now. 1.3 as they enter 3. And now you're looking at it. You can see Bowman. He's absolutely trying to drive the you-know-what out of it. And it's leading to him spinning those tires a little bit, not having the grip he'd like. And going to the bridge there, that's 3rd place, Gavin Shaw. You can see the rest. We got one in the outside wall. The dock, Mike Watson. Not too sure if he's going to get a caution. He doesn't. We continue. Chad Griggs to the outside. Now the caution flag waves for the dock as we saw it happen there with Mike. Not necessarily the best angle, but clearly jumps the cushion here in 1 and 2. And, oh, no, he hits the inside wall in entry, which does indeed make him jump the cushion. But when the left front doesn't work, you're going to jump that cushion. And he ends up making the right front not work as well. And he was literally just along for the ride. He was very, well, I shouldn't say he was, because he didn't do anything wrong. But the leader, very fortunate that he was able to get to the inside, because with no caution flag coming out, you've got to be kidding me. As you see, my live button did not want to work, so I have to mess around here with this a little bit. As the overlay will stop working here for a second for you guys. Also stop working for me. Should refresh for you. There you go. Now we're just going to hope they give us another long green flag run, because I won't be able to click back for that one for the long replay. Now that I had to reset my SDK, it's all gone. All that information no longer here. You can see it says the 0th caution there after your reset. We drive down the backstretch one final time. We'll go by Beer Hill. The fans will give one last, I imagine it's a old Milwaukee salute here. If Lucas Wolf is hanging out there. Pace car is off. Green flag high. She's ready to fly. Chad Griggs drops the hammer. We're back underway at the Williams Grove Speedway. Good drive into one is Bowman. Right there on his you-know-what. Oh! Teddy! He's going to get involved. Ted York. And the 710 of Gavin Shaw. Gavin and Sean Fry made a little contact, and that allowed Cale Bixler to get on up into that final podium spot. You know what that means at this point. You're not getting that spot back, even if a caution flag comes out. So Ted York gonna have to work his way through, and that thing looks like it's got heavy damage on the right front. I mean, it just didn't look straight going down the racetrack. I mean, you can see the wing even damaged on the right side. As that has got to be a handful for the 009 of Teddy York, as Chad Griggs leads the way. 15 laps to play as we are halfway at the Williams Grove Speedway. So close to that outside wall, man. He could reach out and paint it with a brush. As he is, man, oh man, he is flirting with it up there. Isaac Bowman doing the same. I mean, monkey see, monkey do. You got to do it if you want to run that guy down. Now he's going to go to the bottom here. You can see how slick it was there in the center of the corner. And that is not going to help Isaac Bowman out as he loses 2-3 tenths to your leader. We go back to the 789 of Cale Bixler, who's going to try to hold off Sean Fry as Sean tries to park that 8 on the podium. Remember, top 5, as long as they have that incident limit under whatever the number's allowed to be. I can't even remember anymore. They'll know. 0.225, I think. You're allowed to transfer up. So if your driver's running in the top 5, which final driver in the top 5 is the 444 of Scott Rayone, he'll be able to transfer up to the Renegades division here this evening as Slide Job working the bottom here. Bowman 3.5 seconds back off your leader, and Cale Bixler, he's starting to see him a little more clear here. He is working towards this 9 of Isaac Bowman. I don't know if he's going to have enough time here, but you can see Isaac right there and Cale doing a good job of working the bottom through 3 and 4. Where does he go through 1 and 2? Right back up to the top. And Cale, let's see. Can he hit it a little smoother this time? No, he's going to go up top, going to drive it in deep. Cut down here. That was an interesting line for Cale, but it seems to be working there. And Scott Rayome trying to run down the 8 of Sean Fry, who looked to be, for the moment, running down the 7, 8, 9 of Cale Bixler, but has since faded. He's losing grip there up on the top through 3 and 4. Cars really starting to spread out here. Steve Maurer back in 6th. He's 4 seconds behind Scott Rayome, but 4 seconds ahead of Gavin Shaw, who just went a lap down to your leader, Chad Griggs. Theodore York. I don't know why I said Theodore. Probably because they called him Teddy, or, Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. But his name is definitely just Ted. Is Ted working the inside here through 3 and 4? He's just doing a good job of staying out of the way. And Chad Griggs, he's 5 seconds up the road. Once again, Chad Griggs literally could do, he could do a 720. Spin that thing around twice and keep on driving to the finish line and still win by about 2.5 seconds. I mean, this man is lightning, and I know the guys in the Renegades race, they've got their eyes peeled. They see what they've got to look forward to, and Chad Griggs is coming, man. He is ready to roll here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Isaac Bowman, you can see the gap down to 3rd now. Less than a second, but we're almost out of time. 1 mile to play, 2 laps to go at the Williams Grove Speedway as your leader, Chad Griggs, goes under the bridge. He rolls through 3 and 4, and he's set to see that white flag wave. Final time around for your Knoxville Nationals champion, who is just rolling the bottom now, experimenting, seeing what else he can do. He's going to have to figure something out here in the Renegades. Not going to be as easy, but man, he's going to be a favorite as Chad Griggs gets it done. He takes the checkered flag at the Williams Grove Speedway. Cale Bixler, P2, and I got a feeling Isaac Bowman ran out of gas with 2 to go. So Sean Fry rounds out the podium as you see Isaac Bowman limping. Not going to make it across the line there is Isaac Bowman, short on fuel. Heartbreak for Isaac Bowman, but Chad Griggs, he'll take it, man. Great run, way to close out there. We'll see if we can't get a word here with the driver of the 8 machine. All right, we do. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm glad you got out of the hauler because for some reason it wouldn't let me drag you. I was just going to go down there and meet you, but I'm guessing now I don't want to, do this wrong, but it's pronounced Sean, correct?
No, it's actually pronounced key in, like putting a key in a door.
Okay, well, we did it wrong all night. Terry Landis, asked Siri how we were going to pronounce that. So, of course, I called you Sean all night. We couldn't have been any more off. But, Kian, man, you're just flirting around there. 4th place. It looked like you were running down the 789 a little bit to get into 3rd. And then, man, 2 to go. I think a car ran out of gas and you inherit 3rd place. I mean, what are you thinking when you see that car slow to the inside?
I mean, Honestly, I thought back to I felt like Daryl Waltrip way back when he was racing at Daytona and Donnie and Kale were fighting on the inside and he was racing for the win. Granted, this was just for a podium spot, but I thought back to that and I was just thinking, oh God, I really hope I don't screw this up. I don't want to spin because I was already getting loose from the slick, so I just didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah, it seemed like guys were really starting to struggle on the outside there towards the end. Did you think about going back down to the bottom or trying to that middle, or were you just committed to that high side? I mean, you don't fix it if it ain't broke, and it definitely was working, but it just seemed like you were real committed to that outside here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to make it work the best I could. I don't have very much experience at this track, so I was just trying to keep it quick without getting in anybody's way. Um, I managed to do that somehow. I had one incident earlier, but I think that was just hard racing. But honestly, I was just trying to play it a little safer, and I knew the high side was quick. I was afraid of hitting the tires or the wall on the inside if I drove it too deep. I just didn't want to risk it.
Well, Ken, man, you had a hell of a run. Either way, even if you didn't get the podium, you were going to be eligible to go run Renegades here. Got any plans to come out and run again here with us in the next race?
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly like to. I I'm do those I haven't been able to watch any other races here for a while. Are those fields generally bigger than this race or not really?
Yeah, no, that should be three times the size. I would say we should get push low 20s, possibly even a B main. But it's been a while since I broadcasted Monday night. Sometimes I'm racing. I'm the fill-in guy here for tonight. I'm filling in for Marty.
Oh Lord, that many sprint cars around me. Oh no. I've even in an official race, I've never been around that many sprint cars at once. So if I'm able to show up, it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely always good for the experience. But man, Kian, great run. You bring home that final podium spot. Before we kick you out of here, man, you got anybody you want to thank on a good run?
I want to thank any of my friends and family who might be watching. I want to thank my friend Brandon for helping me get set up. Um, I want to thank my teammates at Thunder Valley who are over on the NASCAR side of things, and I just I, I want to thank my grandpa and uncle for giving me the inspiration to do this in the first place.
Well, hey, hell of a run, Kian, and I promise won't call you Sean again. We'll get that right from here on out, man. Great run, and good luck in the next one.
Thanks, man.
Now we're going to pull up that 7, 8, 9 of Cale Bixler. Cale, man, it looked like you were going to run him down, maybe get him on merit there for P2, and all of a sudden, I assume he runs out of fuel. What was going through your head, man, as you drive on by?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. If I did get into him, I apologize. I was going into 3 low, and I didn't know he was out there because usually he was kind of taking off on the outside, and then all of a sudden he was there. So I want to apologize to Isaac if that was on me. I did not know he was there, but then I saw him kind of going along the bottom. So I don't know if he ran out of fuel or not, but I did have a pretty quick car there.
Yeah, man, it seemed like you were definitely running him down. Now, not to, I don't think many of us are. I don't know if you were getting to the back of Chad Griggs, but man, you definitely had this thing wheeling. Are you looking forward to go running some Renegades racing here?
Yeah. I mean, Chad is in a league of his own with us. I mean, he is just insanely fast. So getting second place was a win in my books today.
Oh, amen. Amen. If I can finish second to Chad Griggs, I won a trophy for it. I think almost.
That's what I'm saying. As long as I didn't see him, of course, he was already a stretch in a corner through it, but I at least could say I came into second with him.
Yeah, anytime, and anybody out there thinking we're joking, we do mean it. Anytime you finish second to that Chad Griggs machine, that's a win. And Cale, you had a great run, man. You look good fighting your way up through the field. So congratulations, Hard Charger P2, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Mauer Farm Management, Flatline Racing Bodies, Salty Dogs Race Team, and my main sponsor, Schroeder Angus. They produce the best Black Angus in the world. And if you ever need anything, you contact Doug or Drew. And I appreciate you, Shaggy. I think you're my good luck. Every time you're on here, I get to talk with you.
Well, I mean, Dino broke the news. I don't know if you guys knew, but I'm the new Monday night guy. So Marty will do next week. He'll do championship night, but next season I'll be the new Monday guy. So we'll see, man. Hopefully you have better luck going forward. But congratulations on the good run, Kale. Can't wait to talk to you again.
Thanks, Shaggy.
Kale Bixler bringing home P2. And now we're going to talk to your Knoxville Nationals champion, Chad Griggs. Walk in the park, brother. And I'll tell you, man, I ask you this every freaking week, man. But you pretty much give me the same response every time I ask you this. But, when you're out front, is there any thought, hey, maybe I should slow down? I mean, I'm winning by 4 or 5 seconds, but I know, man, you good guys. It's tough to break that rhythm, man. But talk to us about just going out there and dominate.
Well, like you said, I probably should have eased up a little bit because there with a couple to go, I biked it up pretty good, about spun, Lord knows what else with the car. So I don't know. It's like I feel like if you're a competitive person, you can't really just kind of ease up. I always tell guys that I work with and help out that no matter if you're running the top, which I ran the top basically the whole race, or if you're running the bottom, you can't run either one of those lanes in a fashion where you feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable running those lines and the way you're running those lines, you're probably not fast. So you have got to really be okay with being uncomfortable and learn how to run being uncomfortable. And that's just what I try to do every lap.
Well, I mean, not necessarily uncomfortable, but I did see you testing around there towards the end, that final lap or two, rolling the bottom. Is it, doing a little homework here for when we go Renegades racing? Because obviously more cars, track will be a little bit more beat up. Do we expect the bottom to possibly come in feature time?
I don't know. I think the bottom could probably be equally as fast. Unfortunately, I won't be able to run Renegades tonight. I've got a teammate that his qualifying night for the DOB 410 Knoxville Nationals is tonight. So I'm going to slide over there and kind of help him out a little bit. So I will not be able to make it tonight. Wish I could, but the timing of it I don't think it'll allow me to have that race be done when we need to hop in that other server.
Have we tweaked on the champions Knoxville National setup, or is that what we're going to be feeding the teammate here tonight?
We've got a pretty well set up for Knoxville in the 410s that we've
used.
Okay.
So you're running 410. So you're actually you're not playing around. You're running some big boys. Okay.
Yeah, and the setup we'll be using it's like a honey set. I call it our honey setup at Knoxville, and we've been using it since March of 2024. So year and a half, I guess we've been using that very same setup. So.
Oh, wow. And sorry to zone out there, but I just noticed there when you hit the wall. We just got to that part. You weren't kidding, man. I was watching the battle for second because that was heating up there a little bit. Wow, you did get lucky there through 3 and 4. Wow.
I about junked it.
Yeah, you did. You even came down and almost hit the inside wall. So that's when you decided, okay, I'm going to go run the bottom there. All right,
exactly.
make it a little more sense. Well, hey, congratulations on the great run, Chad. And, you're going to be champion. I won't get to congratulate you next week. Marty will be back. But congrats on a great run, man, and an even better season. Got anybody you want to thank?
Thank you for the broadcast. C2C, my team, TJM, and Trent Pullman for my wrap.
Well, hey, good luck, man, in the DOB 410s. We'll be rooting for. Are you going to qualify, I guess, tomorrow night? Or are you going to run?
Yeah, my qualifying night is tomorrow.
All right. Well, hey, good luck, Chad. Go get him, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Chad Griggs, your Knoxville Nationals champion here, wins the Salty Dogs Rebel Sprint Car A main here at the Williams Grove Speedway. And with that, we're going to step away for a couple minutes, get the next session all set up and ready to go play here, and then we'll be running some Renegades 360 sprint cars next here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stick around.
friends, it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network with your main event here this evening. Your Flatline Racing Bodies Renegade Sprint Car Division set to take center stage at the Williams Grove Speedway. I'm Zach Chapman here with Shaggy TV. And man, you know, if you just tuned in, you're lucky, okay? Because you got here for arguably the best one, but shame on you because you missed a lot of good racing here tonight. Especially in that 358 modified feature. That was a good one. That was a good win for B-Temp. And My apologies, forgot to mute the Facebook tab there as you hear me getting a message. And we get ready to go qualifying here, so we'll see who the first guy is on the racetrack. Oh, the Spider Monkey. Brandon Dipper. The 83 going out here first. That, you know, he's not the guy who I think of when getting out there on the racetrack first. With that TWR 83. Ready to go out here and try and set quick time. As you can see, man, this track already more beat up than that feature was for the Rebels here with all the guys out there in practice. They gave it quite the spit shine there on the entry to 3. And then is slopped up as the 83 of Brandon Dittmer comes across the line, lap 1 with an 18.33. But the low line master, Brennan Lacey, sees his time knocked off by the 187 of the real deal, Rick Mayne. Rick Mayne always quick. And that 187, does he improve this time by... He does, 17.93 for the 187 of Rick Mayne. Great lap. Let's see who else still has to go. Kean right now. He came out of the Rebels. He's currently P8 on lap 1. What can Kean do? Looking for a little more time here. Kean, he was quicker through sector 1. Not going to do it. Going to stay P9 is Kean. Right now, 9 out of 21 guys. Probably going to be pretty happy with that. Is Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson, set to go out here. But guess what? Pink Panther's going to run out of time. He's going to get this one lap. No, he's not. That's the outlap. He is not going to get this thing done. You can see the time there. There was 6 seconds. He's not going to get this done. So him and Dino had mentioned he was just going to register here. He had the fantasy draft. He had to get in the session. Get points. So Dino, he's not going to qualify either. I don't think we're going to have a Dean Reynolds. And we should have 3 heat races here. Let's take a look at the starting grid. Heat race number 1, rounding out the field to 30. The maple syrup drinking Stephen Goldner. To the outside of row 3, his pops in the 36. Barry Goldner. To the inside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row 2 to the outside, the 187 of the real deal, Rick Mayne. To the inside, the 10 of Ross, the boss, Corinna. Row 1 for your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car Heat Race number 1. To the outside, the 789 of Cale Bixler. And starting on the pole, the 39 of the High Side Banger, Patrick Spangler. There we go. That's what I'm more comfortable with. Having to click that button, you know. We even reset it in between races. That isn't what does it. So apparently what fixes it is when you let it carry over from session to session and then it doesn't go live when you click that button. So that's cool. It's 2 Training Wheels Racing teammates racing around here. Patrick Spangler with the Zemco Racing inspired 39 machine. They normally run around Port Royal on the regular. It's Rick Mayne. You know the deal. You qualify quick time. You got to go towards the back. And does Rick Mayne have a picture of himself on the door? Dang it. Do I really not have a zoom camera of that? Oh, that's going to bug the heck out of me. I have to look at that later. I've never noticed that on the side of Rick Mayne's car. That is neat. This is the Steve King Foundation pace car. Pulls off. We get ready to go play in the clay here at the Williams Grove Speedway. 8 laps. Winner of heat race number 1 will start on the pole. The green flag waves. We're underway. The high side banger trying to get up there, but that's 7, 8, 9. He's got the groove, and Cale Bixler, welcome to the lead for the moment. But here comes Patrick fighting back on the inside, and the boss, Ross Corinna, getting wide. He says, Cale, get to the back. I'm going. And Ross Corinna working the bottom here, but here comes the 187, the real deal, Rick Mayne. Oh, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead. Rick Mayne slide jump, crosses over the 39. He gets loose, bounces off the wall. Patrick cuts back underneath, and the 39 holds the lead. Holy, you know what? 3 wide once again. These guys are absolutely letting it hang out as Rick Mayne in the 187. Our new leader leads the way. The high side banger beating down the wall. Brandon Dittmer gets around his teammate. Steven Goldner works to the bottom as well, and he's going to get around the 39 of Patrick Spangler. But only for a moment as Patrick Spangler fights back on the outside. The 39 looking to hold him off. Here is Ross the Boss. Has his sights set for to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. Can Ross Corinna get up here and make a run? Let's hop on. Let's not hop on. Let's hop on. There we go. Oh, no. Ross gets in the outside wall ever so lightly. Able to keep it straight. Goes right back to the bottom here in 1 and 2. And he's trying to reel in that 187, but can't do it. Steven Goldner, he's moved up into P3. Here is Goldner. He's got, oh boy, Brandon Dittmer, hold on the Spider Monkey. Getting out of shape on the high side in the 83 of Brandon Dittmer. Gonna have to reel it back in here, tone it down as we're almost out of time. The 187 of Rick Mayne sees the white flag wave, 1 lap to play. Rick Mayne wants to start on the pole, and he's a half a lap away from doing so. As we enter 3 for the final time, Rick Mayne can see the checkered flag wave, and he's going to bring home heat race number 1, followed by the boss, Goldner, Bixler, Dittmer, Goldner, and Spangler. Absolutely not the heat race Patrick Spangler needed. Gonna have to come from the back at Williams Grove. Not gonna be easy to do here as we take a look at the starting grid for heat race number 2. Rounding out the field, the 127 of the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson. Row 3 to the outside, the 75 of Steve Bixler. To the inside, the 444 of Scott Rayone. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 518 of 100 grand. Joseph Grandy. To the inside, the 114 of the low line man, Brennan Lacey. Row 1 for heat race number 2. To the outside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. And starting on the pole, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Jeff Barker and Bob DeGood are teammates, so if they work together here, I mean, it's going to be tough to get around those guys, but obviously easier said than done. It's not easy to work with someone here when you're side-by-side racing. Brandon Lacey, I just realized that Brandon Lacey's got a for sale sign on that thing. Not too sure, how good he's treated it. But it looks like the 114 maybe selling out. Here's we close out on the summer season. We'll go around the Williams Grove Speedway one more time in the Steve King Pace Foundation Pace car. We'll pull off here in the middle of 3 and 4. The Brewerton Beast will bring us to the green flag for a second of 3 heat races here at the Williams Grove Speedway. As we roll off of 4 for the final time It's about time to go play as the green flag waves. 8 laps at the Williams Grove Speedway to get it done. And Brennan Lacey hooks up on the bottom through 1 and 2. He's going to try to work under Bob DeGood. Can't get the run, and 100 grand working on the outside. The 518 rolls up into P3 as Bob DeGood and Jesse Atkinson, or excuse me, Scott Rayome, I believe, maybe make a little contact. Maybe even Steve Bixler. Couldn't tell, but Bob DeGood was slideways as he loses it. And Brennan Lacey gets around the 513 for the lead as the 114 leads with 6 laps to play. Jeff Barker trying to hold off 100 grand is that RTB 518. Working the low line here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Now he cuts up through the gap here and crosses over in front of the 513. Jeff Barker going to have to wait in line here. Is now 100 grand. He is whipping it on the outside. He's saying, come to Papa. Jeff Barker going back to work, though, in the basement here. Still plenty of grip down low. As Brennan Lacey showing that out front, still leading the way in the basement. He's got the lead to almost a full second here over the 518 as we check back. Pretty much single file all throughout the field. Jeff Barker and Joseph Grandy, your closest battle on the racetrack. I'm still not used to that paint scheme from 100 grand. Used to that red, yellow, or green, and or I guess it was black, pink, and green. And now seeing this thing, man, I don't want to say Grandy yet. But 2 laps to play, 1 mile to go at the Williams Grove Speedway as Brennan Lacey, he is checked out up front. He is feeling good. And unless he has a big mistake here, man, he may get a buyer on that thing tonight. I mean, he is showing what that for sale 114 can do. As the white flag waves, he rolls the bottom for the final lap here around the Williams Grove Speedway. We glance back through the field. You see no real battles on the racetrack. Final time through 3 and 4. And the Lowline Master, proving his nickname, Brennan Lacey wins seat race number 2, followed by 100 grand. Barker, Atkinson, Rayome, Bixler, and DeGood. We get ready here. We'll take a look at our third and final grid here for our heat race. Dino rounding out the field, like I said, as I get the hiccups. So we know they're not done. Dino, I don't believe, is here. But row 3 to the outside, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. To the inside, the Goose, Chad Cote. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 51 of Shorty, John Short. To the inside, the Magic Ant-Man of Anthony Morano. And row 1 for your third and final heat race to the top shelf, the 8 of Kian Fry. And starting on the pole in the 217, we've got the gentleman, Jack Hitt. As we'll wait a little bit here because Dino's probably still registered for the session, so it will try to wait on him. We wish Dino the best of luck in his fantasy draft, and we know that Dino, if he wants to win, he's going to draft my man, Jaden Daniels. I mean, come on. Come on, boy. We just re-signed Terry McLaurin today. It's on in Washington. This is my Super Bowl run. They won the Super Bowl 6 months before I was born. Okay? I've never seen anything from Washington. I've seen now 4 playoff berths, I believe. Possibly 5, but I think 4. You know, and one of them was in like 93 or something. I was 2 years old. That doesn't even count. My life has been full of despair and heartbreak. And Jaden Daniels is trying to just rip all that heartbreak right out. Replace it with a Super Bowl ring and happiness. So if Dino wants to win, he's going to go grab JD5 and carry him to the fantasy championship. See, we got Hollow out there. What's going on? A little slow on that coast-to-coast chat box side. This Kian should be pretty pumped here for this one. You know, the way he talked in the B, I don't think he felt all that confident. I mean, I don't think that's a stretch to say. But now, I mean, he's proven to himself he can go out here with some of the best we have, put down a good qualifying effort. Can he back it up here? Heat race number 3. He finds himself in prime real estate to the outside of the gentleman. Jack hit as we roll down the front stretch. Green flag set the wave. 8 laps to play. Heat race number 3 is underway. Kian with a good run there on the outside, but the gentleman finds the grip there on the bottom on exit. And he takes back over the lead as the Ant-Man Anthony Morano fights to the inside for P2. Kian holding strong as the Goose trying to get let loose here, but he's boxed in behind that 32. And he's got John Short taking peeks underneath in that 51 machine. Shorty trying to go low here at the Williams Grove Speedway. We saw Lacey make it work. But right now, Shorty not having any success on the bottom. He goes to the high side here in 1 and 2. As we see Kian make a run back at your leader here in the 217. Kian thought about swinging it in deep, couldn't do it here, and now he's got the Goose underneath and the Ant-Man up high. Anthony Morano clears him at the line. He's got E2, but Kian going to swing it back in underneath. Shorty high, wide, and handsome here, trying to get a run on the Goose, but the Goose goes up, shuts the door. He's going to try to get to the outside of Kian Fry. Now he cuts to the inside. Kian gets a little sideways here as we come down this line. He holds it halfway to play, 4 to go at the Williams Grove Speedway. Oh, contact! The Goose on the inside there. Hard hit. The Goose going to pull it off here and tow that thing. As the gentleman sees 3 fingers in the air, 3 laps to go. Anthony Morano. Can he get Mr. Mo here? Can he find it and get to the back of the 217 before we run out of time as he rolls the bottom through 3 and 4. 2 fingers in the air, 2 laps to go. Kian feeling the pressure on the inside as that Galen's Popcorn 51 machine of John Short tries to rotate to the inside here. Kian just needs to stay responsible on that throttle. He finds some grip with the white flag in the air. He's going to look to hold off one of the best in that 51. Shorty goes to the top shelf there through 1 and 2. Can he build up a run? His jacket rolls the bottom through 3 and 4 for the final time. He sees the checkered flag, and he's going to win your 3rd and final heat race, followed by Morano, Fry, Short, Landis, Cote, and Dean Reynolds. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. About that time to get rolling here. The Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, quick time. Rick Mann, Anthony Morano, round out your top three. Goldner, Atkinson, your top five as we get set to take a peek here at tonight's starting lineup for your flatline racing bodies. Renegade 360 Sprint Car, A-Main. Rounding out the field, and I saw he put that fantasy draft on pause. He's gridding in the car. The 79 of Dean Reynolds. Row 10 to the outside, the 7 of Bob the Good. To the inside, the 39 to the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. Row 9 to the outside, the 11 of the Goose, Chad Cote. To the inside, the 75 of the Mare, Steve Bixler. Row 8 to the outside, the 36 of Barry Goldner. To the inside, the Desert Demon in the 161, Terry Landis. Row 7 to the outside, the 444 of Scott Rayome. To the inside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row 6 to the outside, the 51 of John Short. To the inside, the 127 of the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson. Row 5 to the outside, the 789 of Cale Bixler. To the inside, the 8 of Kian Fry. Row 4 to the outside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. To the inside, the 30 of Steven Goldner. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 32 of the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. To the inside, the 518 of $100 grand, Joseph Grandy. Row 2 to the outside, the 10 of Ross, the Boss, Corinna. To the inside, the 217 of the Gentleman, Jack Hitt. Row 1 for your flatline racing bodies. 360 Sprint Car Renegade A-Main feature. To the outside, the 114 of the Lowline Master, Brandon Lacey. And starting on the pole, the real deal in the 187, Rick Mann. As we get set to go play 35 laps in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, can Rick Mann hold off this pack of dogs, man? Really wolves who are going to be chomping. Absolutely chomping here under this full moon in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, as we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. The 187 set to bring us to the green flag. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. 35 laps to play in the clay at the Williams Grove Speedway. Your A-Main is underway. Good jump there from the 187 of Rick Mann. Clear and out to the lead, but the battle on behind. They are 3 wide. Anthony Morano on the outside. Who's that shoved in the center there? That's the Boss. Ross Corinna flexing his muscles. He ain't going away. He's here to play. Ross Corinna holds on for the time being. And it's Steven Goldner who had to give up on the bottom, and now he swings back there in the middle. And looky who, Jeff Barker, that 513, he's ready to poke the bear a little bit. 3 wide racing here through 3 and 4 as we've got 2 laps underway. And the boys indeed are ready to play. Patrick Spangler trying to go to work on his teammate here in the 127, the Pink Panther of Jesse Atkinson. Patrick Spangler with a tough heat race there had fallen to the back. We all saw the fate there that he suffered, and well, he's already up 7 spots here in 3 laps completed as they're on to lap 4. The 39 is charging hard. As the caution flag waves, the Goose, Chad Cote, and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. See Barry Goldner. A little squirrely there, but that had nothing to do with it. Terry going to hit this bottom? Possibly try to. Let's see. Does he get poked in the back here? He does. Chad just gets into the back of him here. And he gets a shot from Jack Hitt. You're supposed to shake well before you drink it, but I don't know if that's what Terry Latis had intended there when he was thinking of that Yoo-hoo paint scheme. I mean, he could have shook it himself. Oh, we got Blake Chapman out there tonight. The boys in college, man. I don't know if you're still tuning in here, Blake, but wish you the best, man. You have fun, and I'll just say it, man. Stay away from the drugs, but dang it, go have yourself a good time. You know, I mean, you don't need to be spending Monday nights with me. Nah, thank you for it. But, get that game of Flip Cup rolling in the dorm here as we roll around. Light still on the pace car, so do at least one more lap here before we get going. And Hollow, you can't even call it that chocolate milk. Let's be honest. This is a war that's gone back to the old man league here. Between Yoo-hoo and Nesquik. Now, Yoo-hoo, that's chocolate water. It's powdered. I mean, come on, Nesquik, you're getting the milk there. You're getting the actual milk. It ain't the chocolate water. I don't know if you can get me on the chocolate water train. Well, you're not going to get me on the chocolate water train. Your boy here, I'm the only fat person in the world who's allergic to chocolate. As the green flag waves, we're back underway. Joseph Grandy maybe looking to take advantage there of that caution and swing to the inside. But Ross Corina now, he sees Grandy getting a little greedy there, so he fights to the outside. And all of a sudden, the boss moved the 10 up into P2. He's ready to roll. As the caution flag waves one more time. Cautions breed cautions. The Pink Panther of Jesse Atkinson. Have to see what happened here. We'll see. Do Scott and Dino maybe make a little contact? They're pretty close right now. No, they don't. Jesse makes contact with Scott, who maybe didn't know he had Dino up there, so thought he was going to float up a little higher. But he does a good job there, noticing he was going to hit him, and he locks it up. There. Wild seeing the tires spin like that. That's why I got quiet. I thought maybe he was flicking it into reverse there and spinning it and keeping it in the wall. But I couldn't tell from the way they were rotating if that's what he did or not. If he did, what a wise move. As Rick Mayne will continue to lead the way, and Ross Corina has to give that spot back because, well, not everyone completed that lap. So it goes back to the previous lap, and the boss, Ross Corina, going to have to go back to work here. And speaking of going back to work, you'd think maybe, hey, I saved the camera. Nah, why would I? I'll do it now. I'll do it. Drivers double up here. Lights are off on the pace car, so we'll go back and play this time by. Because I don't have a good view where I stand. I stand on the inside. I guess I would say the backstretch probably about, 100, 200 feet or so. Probably, right around where that blue shirt is there. I'm about 50 yards, maybe not 50 yards, 30 yards back. Have the cooler. The old fold-out chairs. That's where I'm hanging out when I'm at the Grove and getting yelled at by Beer Hill. As the green flag waves, we're back underway. And what I mean by that is if you haven't been to Williams Grove and you're not familiar with Beer Hill, they will start a chant at the infield chanting, "Infield sucks." And it's quite the experience. It's definitely something if you're into dirt racing, man, you got to go and check off. As Brennan Lacey bounces off that inside wall. Not too sure if he suffered any damage there, but you could see he didn't feel that comfortable. He let Jeff Barker get the run on the outside going down the straightaway. And the 114 just might be in preservation mode here on the inside. Steven Goldner moving that 30 machine up through the field. He is a rocket ship right now. Goldner whipping the top side through 1 and 2. And he pulls at the rear end to Anthony Morano. He is right there. Ross Carina not able to hold off Morano, not able to hold off Goldner either. As Steven Goldner gets it done on the outside. John Short next here. He's trying to follow him. But now Ross gets up and he shuts the door here. He's going to roll the top side. He sees the speed up there as Goldner tries to work around Morano. He couldn't do it. He's going to have to fall back in line on the top side and build up one more run. As both of them look to get in the wall there coming out of 2. Goldner not going to be able to mount the charge here. Morano back in the wall through 3 and 4. Does a good job of not coming down in front of those guys, but he's going to lose 2 spots here as Steven Goldner welcome to that 3rd and final podium spot. But the boss ain't done yet. Ross Carina right there, chomping at the bit to get back by Goldner. Ross Carina right there here as we go on the nose. You see Grandy in the outside wall there through 1 and 2. He gets stuck, pulls it back down, but he's still able to reel in Rick Main. He's got that lead down to 4/10 of a second as we've got arguably the best view in the house here from P4. Got some company down low. Here comes the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, as he works the basement through 1 and 2. What can the Ant-Man do? Dean Reynolds, who had absolutely no time on this track at all, maybe ran a lap or 2 in practice before he went fantasy drafting, has worked himself up 9 spots as the hard charger. P12 for the 79 Adino, who's looking to follow that high side banger Patrick Spangler around the Williams Grove Speedway. Joseph Grandy is kind of stalled out. The lead has increased about 6/10 of a second as he enters 1. He's going to get a big run here off. You see it claw back after being 8, 9/10. But still, Rick Main so good out front, and he has proven why I call him the real deal here as we're over, or not over halfway, approaching halfway, 20 to play here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Ross Carina, he's trying to reel in Steven Goldner, but he's still got a mirror full of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Both guys going low and slow through 3 and 4, trying to find a way around that 30. Steven Goldner, who's just hammering that top side, letting it eat. That SGR 30 machine looking to hold off the 10 of Ross Carina, but I don't know how long he can here. Ross is starting to pull even here on the bottom through 3 and 4. Does he think about a slide job? He does as the caution flag waves, and is there contact? No. Thought there was possibly contact between Morano and Goldner. It's a caution flag waves. Pink Panther Jesse Atkinson, I'm seeing involved once again here. Jesse's gonna send it in, and him and Scott Rayom, they've met like this before, and they met again. They're in the center of 3 and 4, and that was a big slide job from the Pink Panther. Not clear. Jack Hitt gonna get a piece of it. Pink Panther, that might be the end of his night here. Jesse Atkinson, if he's used both quick repairs. No, he hasn't. He's only used 1. He's back out there. Scott Rayom. Not too sure if he had to tow or if he's already possibly used both quick repairs, but Scott Rayome may be done here as he sits on pit road. You're right, Hollow. No, as I look back over, I did not pick my winner. But if I was being honest, and I'm an honest man, Lacey started towards the front. That is who I would have picked. And it hasn't gone his way, so the commentator's curse still translated, even though I didn't say it out loud, so Brennan can blame me. I would have definitely had to keep your eye out on Ross Carina there as he started towards the front as well, but Rick Mayne, I mean, I don't know if I would have picked him to hold off the gang here as long as he has. I mean, we're almost halfway. So it's been a great run here for Rick Mayne. And he hasn't really shown any signs of fading. Here, the guys haven't severely run him down. He hasn't made any big mistakes, and it's kind of been the other way around. We've seen Grandy bounce in the wall once. We've seen Goldner bounce in the wall once. Now they've lived to tell the tale here, and that could be the difference, because normally you're going to make one mistake, two mistakes. I mean, one at minimum here, 35 laps. So Rick's is probably coming, but he's going to have to live to tell the tale like those two behind him. It's going to be the difference. How bad is the mistake, or can he play mistake-free racing here as the green flag waves? We're back underway. 17 laps to play. Good jump for Rick Mayne. See how spread out the field is here at the Williams Grove Speedway. And we've got a battle for the lead. Grandy! Oh, boy, Rick Mayne! He threw him in the wheelbarrow, baby. He hung him out the window. He just showed us how big they are. He went around the outside, but it's all for naught. Caution flag waves, but what a move by Rick Mayne. He's showing, I'm here, man. I'm ready to do this thing, and I ain't going away. And that could be, you know, yes, the caution flag going to come out here after Shorty gets in the wall, then tapped by Spangler up and over. The 51 lucky enough to land on all fours here so he can possibly get down pit road, or the front end maybe broke. Not too sure if Shorty was indeed able to make it. But Rick Mayne, man, what a move from the 187 who just, I mean, wow. That's really all you can say is, wow, what a run. Comeback there for the 187 of Rick Mayne, who now, you know, Grandy's got to wonder, well, shoot, did I show him my hand? You know, is it too early? And this is not the way he's going to have wanted it to go. That's for sure. If you're Grandy, you know, you wish if you make that move, you got time to get to the line and hold on to it. Pace around here, light still on. Ooh, Rick Mayne, he almost, you know, they just have to buy a new pace car. Your hard charger right now is the high side banger Patrick Spangler, but a close second is the Goose. Chad Cote. You see the leaderboard cycle around here, of course, right as I talk about it. The Goose up inside the top 10, currently up 8 spots. Patrick Spangler up 13, right outside the top 5. Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off the racetrack. We go back to the starter stand. Green flag set to wave. We're back underway. 15 to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. Oh, little mix-ups here in the back. Not sure if anybody's going to get black flags out of that or not. as Rick Main tries to protect the lead here. Ross, the boss, working the bottom here, trying to get around Steven Goldner. But we can't click away, man. This battle for the lead's so close. Let's zoom out. Let's try to get them both. Oh, there was the mistake. He jumped the cushion. He jumped the cushion, and Joseph Grandy. See, oh, caution, flag waves. Merry Christmas, Rick Main. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Man, oh, man, the caution bug here to stay at the Williams Grove Speedway here. For the Renegades division, is Steven Bixler involved in this one? See his son there right in front of him in that 789 machine. Oh, is Bixler just trying to run the inside, clips the inside wall, goes around. Steve Bixler find himself sideways there on the backstretch, waits till he gets a clear lane, turns around. We're back under caution here for the 5th time. We'll have 12 laps to go at the Williams Grove, or 13 to go, excuse me, when we get the green flag. It's Rick Main, Joseph Grandy, Steven Goldner, your top 3. Ross Carina, 4th. Anthony Morano rounds out the top 5. Those are the cars you're seeing on your screen at the moment. Back behind them, Patrick Spengler to the left, his teammate behind him in the 83, and Kian Fry there in the 8th place, or in 8th place in the number 8 machine. Jeff Barker, the Goose, Chad Cote, Terry Landis, Cale Bixler, and the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson. Now we're getting a glimpse of Lacey, the Good, Goldner, Reynolds, Dino. Must have been involved in a little one of those there. Had to go down pit road, finds himself back towards the back. And Rick Main, he's going to have to be pretty damn near perfect here from here on out. I don't know if he's going to get any more, redos. We're running out of time here. I imagine, we're not going to get many more yellows, so he's going to have to hit his marks. Both of those sponsored by RTB here, so we'll have to see who's got more speed as the green flag waves. We're back underway. 13 laps to play. Rick Main rolls the top through 1 and 2. Ooh, you can see Brandon Dittmer get a little sideways in the back there. As Rick goes to the top shelf through 3 and 4, looking for a diamond line. It's going to work now, but he's got to make sure Grandy doesn't get to his inside, or they may lead to a little contact as Ross Carina gets up into 3rd place, works around Steven Goldner. Patrick Spengler joining the party here. He's up inside the top 5. That's Zemco 39 rolling here. He works to the outside of the 32, but Anthony Morano wants the bottom here through 1 and 2. Feels comfortable down there. And Patrick Spengler says, F it. I don't care. To the high side he goes. Moves Spengler up into 4th. 3 wide almost for the lead here is Rick Main. Slipping in a sliding. Trying to hold off that 518, but $100,000. Here he comes. Joseph Grandy trying to pull to the inside here as we enter 3. Side by side through the middle. Rick Main tries to get the run off the top. He gets to the bottom, finds the grip. And with 9 laps to go, put the top 3 under a blanket. As Ross Carina might have just found the 2 napping here. Is he going to come up and get them both? 8 laps to play at the Williams Grove Speedway. As man, oh man, $100,000. I thought he was going to do it there. Rick jumped the cushion, but he decided not to park it on him. And $100,000 may look back at that right there and think, man, that was my chance, but here comes. Oh, no! We were 3 wide, 7 laps to go for the lead, and the caution flag flies. One more time at the Williams Grove Speedway, and it's going to involve John Short and the gentleman Jack Hitt. Shorty, we saw it happen to him once before there, got in the outside wall, and then he came down, probably didn't know Jack was there, and Jack gets collected. And him and Shorty, that may end their nights there. Is a tough break for those two. As Rick Mayne, he just, I mean, oh my God, Christmas, birthday, all rolled into one here. I mean, this is unbelievable. What an August 25th it has been for the 187 of Rick Mayne, who just can't seem to do anything wrong, man. Break after break every time. It is heating up towards the front. He is just getting a little relief. Chad Cote, he's moved up one spot. Still the second hard charger. It's going to be hard to beat Patrick Spangler, who just keeps moving on up. He's finally got himself in P4. And really, I mean, don't be surprised all of a sudden when we get back to racing, it's a 4-car battle for the lead instead of 3. See here. Lights are off. Couldn't tell if they were or not, but they are indeed. And Rick Mayne set to bring us back for a 7-lap shootout here in Mechanicsburg, PA. As the pace car is off, the green flag flies. We're back underway. Rick Mayne, 7 laps to go. Can he hold off Ross Corinna? Oh, he gets in the wall through 1 and 2. No, comes down, collects the boss. The boss pulling a wheelie, but Joseph Grandy, he flies through. Oh boy, he leads the way. 6 laps to play. 3 wide for second, Corinna. Oh, he gets by. Spangler gets into, I believe, Rick Mayne on the outside. It was Rick Mayne, and oh man, Rick had everything going so good, kept getting break after break, and finally, bad luck strikes here, and we're going to go up top. Spangler's coming up. Is Rick's coming down a little bit? He was setting up for that diamond line that he was running when he was out front, and that's definitely, I mean, as much on Spangler as it is Rick, for sure. So Rick will know I'm not saying this to blame him, but that's when I brought up earlier, you know, when you want to run that cut down, you can until people are around you. And I know he's trying to go as quick as he can there to get back, but you say that's as much on Spangler as it is him. I mean, those guys just racing hard here, coming down to the wire, and really it's more on Spangler than it is him, and I think Patrick would admit that. But it's just, you know, one of those like we saw towards the end of the 358 modified race. Guys racing hard, fighting for the track position, and it leads to contact, and all of a sudden that's what it leads to here. Is now Grandy, he leads the way. We're gonna have a 5-lap shootout when we go back racing. Ross Corinna, he definitely got some contact, and is there damage on the 10 of Ross Corinna? The front wing definitely bent up. I mean, that thing looks a little sick there on the front end. Once again, Marty's back next Monday, but After that, if you didn't hear Dino talking to me earlier, I am going to be the new Monday night guy from here on out. Marty has just been so busy, man. He's doing a lot of college athletics. He does his race series in real life. He has just been a busy man. He needs a little bit of a break. So I'm going to be the new Monday guy for the foreseeable future. After next week, as Grandy drops the hammer, we're back underway. It's time to play 5-lap shootout at the Williams Grove Speedway. Steven Goldner working the bottom here, trying to get around Ross Corinna. All of a sudden, Goldner finds himself in that final podium spot, and here comes Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey, absolutely murdering on the outside is Goldner. Not too sure what happened to Steven there, but he got in the inside wall. Something was not right there with the 30 of Goldner, but it allows Brandon Dittmer to move into that third and final podium spot. As Ross Corinna, he has a damaged race car. He don't care. He's ready to go. Let's see if the boss can find a way around Joseph Grandy here. We got 1.5 miles left to play. Caution flag waves. Caution flag waves again, and they just don't want to let these guys play right now. No way. I did not even notice that. That is a tough break. We were watching the leaders there. If you remember, Brandon Dittmer was up into third. Well, he is one of those leaders, Shaggy, and it looks like he was involved. He gets sideways here in front of Lacey. And he gets collected there by Kean. Nowhere Kean could go. Leads to Goldner getting a big chunk of it. Man, oh man, we got a big one there coming out of turn 2. And all of a sudden, Chad Cote, well, he's not the hard charger now because Dino's up 15. Now 15 spots as they rotate. But Chad Cote right outside, knocking on the door here for a podium. The Goose, man. He might be here. He may get a little piece of this podium here if he's got his way running P4. An absolute heartbreak there for Brandon Dittmer. Gets himself up into that podium. And the outs then just gets loose there in the middle of 1 and 2. And Terry Landis right behind Chad Cote. Dino right behind him. As the lights do go back off here, we'll have a green-white checkered finish. 1 mile shootout here at Williams Grove, and then we'll get our legendary fireworks, except in real life they like to do the fireworks before the feature. That way the drivers can't see. You know, it adds a new element. Never understood that one here. Is Joseph Grandy set to drop that hammer. He's going to get the green this time by, and then we'll get the white. 2 laps to go here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Ross Corinna working the bottom here. He's got Brennan Lacey behind him. Through 3 and 4, 1 lap to go. Grandy misses his mark there a little bit in the center. And Ross is there. Ross is there. 1 lap to go. Final time coming off of 2. Ross Corinna. Does Lacey give him a little bit of a bump draft there? Ross is there. Final time through 3 and 4. Can Grandy hold him off? As we come to the line, Joseph Grandy nails the top. Oh, Joseph Grandy gets the win. Brennan Lacey steals second at the line, and Ross Corinna third. I'm just going to say it. I don't think I have anyone who's going to yell at me here anymore. Holy shit. Oh, my God. What a finish. They're coming to the line, and we got to go up top here. We have to. We absolutely have to. This is that final lap. I mean, Lacey hooked up there on the bottom through 1 and 2, got himself back in the picture. Corinna just misses the bottom there on the exit. Grandy bounces off the wall, and Lacey about 20 feet short of stealing the win, but Joseph Grandy had enough to hang on to it. And we're going to try to find one of their longer green flag runs here. Had a pretty long one there. That middle point. There we go. So we don't have to keep clicking around and try to get a word here with your third place finisher who just saw it slip away. Ross Corinna. Oh, Ross. Man, what can I say? You clearly had a quick race car. I mean, even with that damage after having that car bounce off the front with the contact in front of you, I mean, you were still there to put on a hell of a show, and all of a sudden, Lacey snuckers you at the end. But, man, talk to us about that final 2 laps. That had to be some fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. It would have been nice to not have the damage. You know, obviously, Maine apologized. He just got sucked into the wall, and when it came off, it just shot him down. But that's racing. That kind of stuff happens, so you just got to live with it.
Yeah, and I mean,
the
go
last
ahead.
2 laps, Lacey. I mean, everybody knows Lacey's probably one of the best. You know, between him and Blake, they're probably the 2 best guys that run in the bottom here, or at any track for that matter. And I was able to run it okay. You know, last 10 laps or whatever, and I reeled the leaders in, and then that incident with Maine happened. But I just sent it in a little too hard in 3, and just drifted up a little bit to give Lacey some room, and then wasn't able to catch the tack on the way out of 4, and knew it was going to be a drag race to the end there. And I'd like to see a picture of that finish, because man, that had to have been pretty close. So
yeah, I mean, it was a wild finish, man. You guys put on a good show. I know it's got to be a little irritating, but when you come to Williams Grove, you know, you expect some cautions. But, man, if we could have had some long green flag runs, I think you might have been a guy to watch out for here. Like you say, even with that damage, Ross, hell of a quick race car, man. You know how to drive these things. It shows. Congratulations on a good P3, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, well, I think I think I started 4th past 1 car, you know, technically, but I think I passed Goldner 3 times, and I think I had Grandy there once on a yellow. But yeah, that is what it is. Phantom Motorsports guys, Velocity Race Design, M9 Performance, you for putting on the show, and everybody at Coast to Coast behind the scenes making it work, and Flatline Racing Buddies for the sponsorship.
Well, hey, hell of a run, Ross. Good luck in the championship next week, man. We'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
Ross Corinna bringing home P3, and now we're going to bring up to the man who, I'll tell you what, Brandon, about 25 more feet, man, and we steal the win coming out of nowhere. I mean, you hooked up off of 4. Did you think you were going to steal second? I mean, let alone almost get to the lead. I mean, what a run, dude.
I don't know where we're at on the air here, but I was puckered up a little bit. Let me tell you there, huh?
Yeah, you know, I'd love to know what the rule is, because actually, Brennan, it's funny you say that. I get paid by a lot of leagues to curse now. I wish they'd let me pull the trigger, man, and let me do that over here. I guess I'd have to talk to Jack about that, but man, you know, it seemed like, dude, I mean, they call you the low line master for a reason. And that run, you know, you were pretty far back coming to the white flag, and the run you get on the bottom of 1 and 2, I mean, it looked like you were thinking about bump drafting Ross there. I mean, where did you find that? Because, I mean, everybody out there, they're on that same damn racetrack, and nobody can hit that bottom like you do, man.
I'm just going to say it's all the dang laps we put in down there. I mean, there for 2-3 seasons, there wasn't nobody could touch us down there, and it was just, you put in enough laps, you know the points, you know where to hit them, you know where to go, you know. And the other ones, Blake's really good at it too. He kind of caught on to it and starting to hit the bottom. And I told the old 30 car at the start of the night, I said, we're going to try something, because I hate Williams Grove. I said, if we go to the bottom and it sticks, we're going to run it all night. And well, hell, it paid out for us for once.
Yeah, most definitely did, man. And I know this is one of those racetracks that, well, it can be a nuisance. And lots of caution flags here tonight, so I know it's tough to get on your rhythm, which makes it even more impressive hitting that bottom the way you did at the end. Hell of a run here, Brennan. Congratulations on the P2, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, big shout out to Stephen Golden Racing. Appreciate the 30 car coming back on board to crew chief this thing, because everyone knows I'm just a driver. I don't know nothing about setting these things up. So I just kind of wheel and deal when he wants me to. And also got to give a shout out to Barry, Money King, back home watching. Kyle Moonen. Can't wait to get him back one of these days. And of course, though, if you didn't see the car, 1-800-U-SLOW if you want to buy the car tonight.
Yeah, there we go. I was just taking a look at that on the wing while you were talking. Hell of a run, Brennan. Congrats, man. Good luck here in week 12 next week, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Brennan Lacey bringing home P2, and now we're going to get to talk to the man who, I'll tell you what, Grandy, I didn't know if you were ever going to get this thing, man. You'd make a pass for the lead, damn caution flag would fly. You'd make another pass for the lead, damn caution flag would fly. I mean, did you ever think you'd get the chance to make one stick here? I mean, it was a rough early couple laps.
Yeah, the first half of the race was awesome. I felt I was slightly faster than Rick. I figured it would have to him make a mistake somewhere for me to actually get by him, and he stepped on it. And yeah, took the lead from there. I felt like I had the car till cautions kept coming out, and I knew while each caution kept coming out, I had a less and less chance of winning the race, and but I held on.
Now, obviously, you're pretty aware coming to the line that you got Brennan down there working on you, or I mean that you got Ross down there working on you. But as you take a look at the results, and you drive past the start-finish line, did you have any idea that Brennan was right there, man? I mean, that was one of the closest finishes, 3 wide across the line, that we've had in quite some time, man.
Yeah, because going into 3 and 4, I knew Ross was going to get me if I stayed trying to hit the bottom or hit the middle. So I tried hitting against the wall where all the attack is. And when I slid out that far, I saw Brennan. So I just tried staying in the attack, but I ended up hitting the wall harder, and I thought I was going to lose it there, but I didn't, and it was a pretty crazy finish.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. One of the craziest and closest finishes I've called here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and it was hard fought, man. Congratulations on that big win. You never gave up. You brought it home, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Catalytic Recovery, all the guys over at RMDB, RTB. Who else we got here? Tinkle Homes, Mad Rabbit, Highlight Cinematography, my girlfriend Olivia, all the guys at Coast to Coast. Hell of a race tonight, guys, and you, man, for doing the broadcast.
Well, hey, great run, Joe. Good luck here the rest of the way. One more week to go, man. Try to survive next week.
All right, later.
Grandy bringing home the win here at the Williams Grove Speedway, and with that, we're going to get the heck out of here. But before we do, huge shout out to Flatline Racing Bodies, Full Throttle Motorsports, and the Salty Dog Race Team for coming on board and getting these broadcasts rolling here this evening. I'll be back Wednesday, my normal time here, for a little Hometown Heroes, and Marty should be back next Monday here to wrap up championship night. And then, like I say, get used to this voice here. I'll be the voice of Monday Night Madness for the foreseeable future. And with that here, we're going to sign off. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV saying so long and have a good night.